if you're someone who believes that the BBC is a credible institution of the utmost integrity, which practices impartiality and upholds solid morals and values, and is essentially something which the whole country can be proud of and every Brit should be singing the praises of, if that's your view and your perception of the BBC, then I can fully understand why you would care about the BBC Sports Personality of the Year. I can fully understand it. I can fully understand why you would care about voting. I can fully understand why you would care about who they nominate and ultimately who wins the award. I get it. But if you're not somebody who's coming from that perspective, if you're somebody who's coming from the opposite perspective and doesn't see the BBC as an institution that is credible, that has integrity, if you're somebody who's maybe disturbed by the scandals the BBC's been involved in over the past decade and beyond, then I don't understand why you would care about the BBC Sports Personality of the Year. I don't understand why you would care who they nominate, who ultimately wins the award. What does it matter to you if you don't see this institution as credible in the first place? Now, how does this relate to Tyson Fury? Well, Tyson Fury has presented himself for much of his career as this rebellious, anti-establishment figure. And he has been championed as a hero by his fans because of this. They've put him up on a pedestal right next to Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, Bob Marley, in terms of being anti-establishment and speaking out, going against the grain, not biting his tongue, refusing to toe the line of political correctness. He's been championed by his followers for these things. But these very same followers who have been so praiseful, all right, if that's even a word, of Tyson Fury for being the anti-establishment man, are now up in arms, are now horrified by the fact that Tyson Fury apparently hasn't been nominated or hasn't won. I'm not sure which, because I don't follow Sports Personality of the Year. But now Fury's fans are up in arms because Fury has been snubbed by the BBC. Well, so what? I thought he was anti-establishment. If Tyson Fury's anti-establishment and that's one of the reasons that you like him, then being snubbed by the BBC is a badge of honor. That's not something you should be up in arms about and upset about. That's something you should be happy about. You know, Tyson Fury and his fans have been ridiculing Anthony Joshua for years for not speaking his mind, for not doing the things that Tyson Fury does, going against the grain, refusing to toe the line of political correctness. They've been ridiculing Joshua for being an establishment stooge, basically, playing the game, being politically correct and ultra PC. So he can make sure his pockets stay fat with the endorsements and sponsorship money. Make sure that he gets on mainstream television. Make sure that he gets mainstream approval and validation. They've been ridiculing Joshua for playing the game so he can get those benefits, if you see them as benefits. But now we have Tyson Fury's fan base, who have been doing all that, ridiculing Joshua, up in arms because Tyson Fury isn't getting mainstream validation. Because Tyson Fury isn't getting a pat on the head and a biscuit in his mouth from the establishment. Because that's what the BBC Sports Personality of the Year award is. It doesn't make sense that Fury fans even care about this vote, much less who wins it, who wins the award. They shouldn't even care. It doesn't make sense to even care about it. It certainly doesn't make sense for Fury himself to care about it. Now, and to be fair, I haven't seen him comment on it. But I have seen members of his team comment on it. I remember Tyson Fury's dad, after Tyson beat Vladimir Klitschko, he came out with words to the effect of, Tyson hasn't been on all these game shows and he hasn't been invited to all these things that Joshua gets invited to. He hasn't been accepted. He hasn't had his posters all over the place like Joshua gets. His dad was basically complaining that Tyson didn't have mainstream validation, mainstream acceptance. And his dad even, you go watch the interviews. Go look up the YouTube archives and go watch the interviews with his dad. His dad actually pointed to the fact that Tyson Fury not getting mainstream acceptance and validation may have contributed or even been the primary reason that he fell into a depression. That gaining mainstream acceptance and validation was so important to him that when he didn't get it, it actually resulted in his mental health deteriorating. This is what his dad has suggested. So what does that actually tell me? Well, that just reinforces what I already believed about Tyson Fury. And look, I've praised Tyson Fury to the utmost in the past. Go check my back catalog. After Tyson Fury beat Klitschko, I was praising him for a long time, even into his hiatus. I was praising the guy for speaking his mind and to hell with the consequences. But when I look back now in retrospect, I start to wonder, was that all for real? Or was it a situation where, okay, they're not going to give me validation, but they're going to give it to AJ. So I might as well play the bad guy then. That's what I might as well do. I might as well play the bad guy. That's the only way that I'm going to get maybe a cult following or some kind of support, is by being the anti-AJ. But that didn't work either. And that's what all the, I don't want to say hatred, but that's what all the ridiculing of AJ was really all about, from what I can see. It was Tyson Fury's frustration that AJ was more popular with him. It was Tyson Fury's frustration that AJ had gained mainstream acceptance, establishment acceptance and validation, and he hadn't. That's what it was all about. It was Fury venting his frustration and hating on AJ for having what he didn't have. Because now, all of the anti-establishment stuff from Tyson Fury has evaporated. Where's it gone? Has anybody noticed? Now his fans want him to be BBC Sports Personality of the Year. They want him to be the mainstream of mainstream. Funny, isn't it? And like I say, I respected Tyson Fury for speaking his mind and not towing the line. I really respected him for that. When I looked at people like AJ and, every heavyweight champion basically, after Muhammad Ali until now, has in the public arena remained apolitical and really hasn't done anything to go against the grain. I mean, Larry Holmes maybe slightly in some ways, but everybody else, they've just toed the line and been ultra PC publicly. You could say Mike Tyson, but Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson, Larry Holmes maybe, but the rest of them, Lennox Lewis, the Klitschko's, Vander Holyfield, Riddick Bowe, Michael Moore, all these guys just told the line, said what they were supposed to say, avoided saying what they weren't supposed to say. You know, it is what it is. They wanted them sponsorships. They wanted them endorsements. So they kept their mouths shut and played the game. Same with AJ. Same with most of these guys. But Tyson Fury was different for a time. But now even he is acquiesced. So you have to ask yourself, was it really real in the first place? Or was he playing up for the cameras because he thought he was going to get some kind of cult following behaving like that? I don't know. You guys tell me what you think in the comment section below. But Fury's fans were holding him up as some anti-establishment figure next to people like, you know, they're putting him on a pedestal next to Bob Marley, John Lennon, you know, Che Guevara. Obviously, it's over the top, but that's the level these guys were putting him on. Lennon, Bob Marley, like, you know what I mean? John Lennon is somebody who returned. I've got the article up here. He returned his MBE from the Queen. He was about that life when it came to being anti-establishment. He meant it. It wasn't a game. Did Tyson Fury really mean it? Was it just a phase? A little rebellious, immature rebellious phase. He didn't really mean it. He just wanted acceptance. It was just a cry for help and a cry for attention. And now he's in a different phase of his career. It's getting to the point now where he might get that kind of attention. He's got BT Sport behind him. He's got Frank Warren behind him. His fans are pushing for him to be nominated or win the BBC Sports Personality of the Year. That's the ultimate badge of mainstream acceptance, the ultimate badge of political correctness is some kind of award from the BBC. That's what that is. So I don't understand where his fans are coming from. Again, Fury himself hasn't come out, as far as I'm aware, and said anything about not being nominated or not winning. Maybe he doesn't care. And if he's for real in terms of being this rebellious anti-establishment figure, then he shouldn't care. He should wear the fact the BBC haven't nominated him or given him the award as a badge of honor. Yeah, that's what he should be doing. But clearly his fans are not sharp enough to work this out. ain't sharp enough. I ain't trying to go at Ben Davison. I think Ben Davison has done a great job as a trainer, and I think he's passed his first big test. So this is not me going at Ben Davison or anything like that. Shout out to Ben Davison. For a young guy, 26 years old, to be under the kind of pressure he was under going into the Wilder fight, you know, I can't praise him high enough for the job that he did, giving Tyson Fury good instructions. Some people have criticized his instructions, saying that he should have told Tyson Fury to go for it. But I think that would have resulted in Tyson. And when I say go for it, I'm talking about push the issue against Wilder and try to go for the knockout. I think that would have probably got Fury knocked out himself if he would have done that. You know, even boxing safely, he nearly got knocked out in the 12th. So if he'd pressed the issue, he would have given Deontay Wilder a hell of a lot more opportunities to land. So I think Ben Davison did the right thing, getting Tyson to box the way that he did. I don't agree with Freddie Roach and, you know, others who say Tyson Fury should have pressed the issue. So long story short, definitely not me having a go at Ben Davison, all right? Or his promoter, Frank Warren. And, you know, I'm not exactly the biggest admirer of Frank Warren, but in this instance, again, I'm not going at Frank Warren. They're doing their jobs as part of Fury's team, okay? But for Fury's fans, for the people who have held him up as this anti-establishment figure, what are you doing caring about the BBC Sports Personality of the Year? Why do you care? When Fury didn't win it the other time, you know, the other time when Fury was on it, when he didn't win it that time, all you saw from his fans is, the BBC's corrupt and, you know, mentioning all the scandals the BBC's been involved in over the past few years. That's all they were talking about. But yet here we are again for BBC BBC Sports personality. And they're at it again. I thought the BBC didn't have any credibility. So why do you care? I can't get my head around it, people. Maybe somebody can explain it to me. Help me out here. Throw me a bone. All the stuff, the mainstream acceptance that you've been ridiculing AJ for having over the years. Because, getting mainstream acceptance proves you're a stooge, right? Getting mainstream acceptance proves that you have told the line of political correctness, that you're playing the game, biting your tongue, being ultra PC. Now Fury's trying to do it. The irony of all ironies, people. Like I say, John Lennon was about that life. Bob Marley was about that life. Is Tyson Fury really about that life? I don't know. You guys tell me. It's that man, I'm out. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.